right, here we go. Let's go. For you guys who couldn't make the live and are just watching this stream happens at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. If you ever want to join in live and ever want to call in. But either way, welcome to my show here. We're about to talk some boxing. Super excited. We got this past Saturday, we had Devin Haney versus Jojo Diaz. We had Montana Love on the undercard. And then we on Sunday, we had Gervonta Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz. We had Carlos Adames versus Sergey Derevyanchenko on the undercard. So we can talk about those fights. Also, this Saturday, we have Vasyl Lomachenko fighting on Richard Comey in the Madison Square Garden. I most likely will be there. So we're looking forward to that fight. Also on the undercard, Jared Anderson. A lot of people are really high on this heavyweight. He's going to be on the undercard. So we got a lot of boxing to talk about. And I'm super excited. So we'll see where this goes today. Let's see what the people want to talk about. But there's a lot to talk about. And even if you want to go even past even further, we got Marcus Brown versus Artur Beterbiev. We got Triple G versus Murata got canceled. If you guys want to talk about that, we can also talk about that. Like, there's a lot of stuff happening in the boxing world right now. And I'm super excited. Just waiting for some of you guys to jump on so I can, we can take this step a little further and start discussing boxing. But what I'm most excited about is, hold on one second. Let me put in the call-in link, pin it in case people want to call in and be part of the conversation as opposed to just listening. Hold on. All right. Yeah, let me pin this now. Boom. All right. So yeah, looking forward to this fight, man. This fight this weekend. It's been a minute. Oh, sorry. I put the wrong link. I'm really excited about this Saturday though, man. I want to see how this dude Lomachenko looks. Lomachenko is somebody who is been a lot of people been trashing him lately. A lot of people saying that he's not a good fighter, that he's washed up, he's overrated, and I'm like, I don't know where y'all see that at. I don't agree with that. I really don't. He had loss against, you know what it is? A lot of people hating on Teofimo. So a lot of people want to diminish that win. Like, oh yeah, but he beat, yeah, who he beat? Just Lomachenko. I never was a fan of Lomachenko. This, that, and the third. And it's like, bro, you got to give full credit. If the guy beat Lomachenko, whether he's your favorite fighter or not, you got to give him credit for that. You got to get him credit for that. Like, that's just not how boxing works. Boxing don't work where the guy's great before, and then when somebody beats him, and then he sucks. It's like, nah, he beat Jose Pedraza. A lot of you Tank fans want to come on my show and be like, oh, Tank beat Jose Pedraza. People saying he's fighting nobody, but he beat Jose Pedraza. Yeah, Vasyl Lomachenko beat him too. He didn't get the knockout, but he beat him. A lot of people want to say, oh, Jorge Linares is a good win for Devin Haney. Well, Devin Haney didn't stop Jorge Linares. You know who did? Lomachenko. And that he did it when he was younger and when he was a champion. He knocked him out. So it's like, we got to give him credit. Also, you got to remember, he stopped Nicholas Walters. Nicholas Walters knocked out Nonito Donaire when he was a champion. And Nonito Donaire is a champion now. So he wasn't past his prime. This fight was like 2015, 2016. So it's like Lomachenko is somebody who people been trying to shit on for whatever reason. They're hating on him. He had 3 out of the 4 belts in the lightweight division. So how he's not somewhere ranked higher than what people are trying to make it out to be. People like to make it seem like he's a bum. Like, he's not a bum. Now, if you think Tank beats him, okay, that's fine, because Tank is a talented fighter. And I'm not gonna, argue with that. I may agree, I may disagree. I haven't made a prediction video because there's no fight, but that is a fight I want to see. All right, now Haney versus Lomachenko. If you think Haney can beat him, okay, that's your opinion. I may disagree. I may agree. Who knows? When the fight gets made, I'll make my prediction. But point is, you guys trying to make it seem like Lomachenko's is bum, that's done, that is, super overrated, that should have never been in the pound for pound list. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, calm down. Like, he may be the best lightweight right now. He's definitely facing the better lightweight. He's facing a better lightweight than Devin Haney, and a better lightweight than Isaac. Tank Davis opponents. Both of their opponents, Jojo Diaz and Isaac Cruz. Richard Comey was a better opponent than them. And we can go by the Ring Magazine rankings. We can just go by those rankings and see who's ranked higher. Richard Comey is ranked higher than both of their opponents. So if he has an impressive performance over these guys, we got to give him full credit. And again, but I'm not saying he's the best lightweight. Everybody keeps asking me, who's the best lightweight? Who's the best lightweight? We'll find out who's the best lightweight after this Saturday, because we just saw Kambosos Tio. We just saw Devin Haney Jojo. We just saw Tank versus Isaac Cruz. Now let's see Lomachenko versus Richard Comey. And then that's when we'll start discussing who's the best lightweight. Right now, I don't want to discuss who's the number one, who's the this. Well, number one is George Kambosos, because he's the one with all the belts. So after George Kambosos, he's the champion. Who's the number one contender? We'll figure that out this Saturday. That's the way I'm putting it. That's the way I'm putting it. Yeah. Haney, no way. Loma gonna teach him how to fight. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people see it that way. A lot of people see it that way. A lot of people see it that he's too young. And I didn't really like his performance against Jojo Diaz, to be honest. And not that he looked bad, because he didn't. He won about 8 rounds to 4, 9 rounds to 3. So it's pretty dominant performance. I'm not gonna knock his performance. What I'm saying is he did get hit flush, especially to the body. He got hit a lot to the body, and we all know Lomachenko's a good body puncher. Then he got hit flush in the head a couple times too. So, and if you imagine if Lomachenko was to do that, especially how fast he is, how sharp he is, how he knows how to use angles, and all the experience he has from winning his 2 gold medals and winning multiple divisions, beating Gary Russell. You get what I'm saying? I don't know how how Haney handles all of that if he had some trouble with Jojo Diaz. And now, again, he won clearly. I'm not gonna take that win away from him, but he definitely didn't oh my God, wow, this guy's unbeatable. This guy's the next big thing, the next Floyd Mayweather, as Eddie Hearn is trying to promote Devin Haney as the next Floyd Mayweather. Stop, man. I get you a promoter and you trying to get your boy's name up. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Trust me. That's a little excessive. You compare him to one of the greatest of, if not the greatest of all time. Like, you setting him up for failure. One loss, and that's it. The comparison to Mayweather is done. So it's like nobody should ever be compared to perfection, because literally that's what Mayweather's career was. It was a perfect career, 50-0. So if you want to compare him to, somebody of recent, don't compare him to Mayweather. Mayweather literally went undisputed. Like, come on, man. Hold on. Let me read some of y'all comments. I've been going off on the tangent. I've been reading y'all comments. I don't like how Haney fight. I don't know what's the hype. People talking about Haney. His fight's boring as hell. I mean, I wouldn't say this last fight was super boring. I mean, you could say that Jojo Diaz made it an entertaining fight, but I don't think it was a boring fight. But what I do think about Devin Haney is that he is not as popular as he thinks. We saw that both in the Linares fight and in the fight against Jojo Diaz. It wasn't exactly a sold out packed crowd. And he tries to make it seem like he's this super famous person and coming up to Tio and, oh, I got more followers than you and this. And it's like, you're not that big of a star. And if you were, you would have, sold out the arena. Tio, he doesn't really flex that I'm A-side muscle, but he did sell out the theater in Madison Square Garden, which holds 5,600 here in New York, against Kambosos, a little known fighter. Let that fighter have been, Tank or Haney or or Ryan or Lomachenko, he probably could have been in the big room and probably could have sold 10, 15,000. So I don't know. I don't think Haney's as big of a draw as he thinks he is. Or I also don't think that Haney, how do I say? Haney's as good as they're making him out to be. They're making him out to be the next Floyd Mayweather. It's like, bro, you need to chill out with that. Like, hell no. I would like to see Lomachenko against Kambosos, of course, depending how this weekend turns out. Well, it's interesting you mentioned that. Bob Arum was saying how the WBO is going to mandate Lomachenko for Kambosos. So the fight with, Kambosos' next fight might be decided due to a mandatory. And that's interesting because that means Lomachenko will cut in line in front of Devin Haney to fight for the disputed fight. It would be Lomachenko. And Bob Arum also said that he's willing to go to Australia with Lomachenko. So that's an interesting situation for me, considering how things may shake out. Haney stood in the pocket with JoJo because he was confident because JoJo a 126, but he not dumb to stick in the pocket with Tank or Loma, Shakur, Ryan. I agree. He would definitely have to box more, but it just didn't seem like he reacted to those body punches well. There was a couple times where he got hit to the body, he kind of like folded over. And if you fold over on a Tank, on a Tio, on a Ryan, on a Loma, and you folding over, like they will make you pay. Like the headshot that's gonna come right after you fold is gonna be one for the ages, especially like all the guys I mentioned, maybe with the exception of Lomachenko. Lomachenko's a good puncher, but he's not like a super power puncher. But Tio's a power puncher, Ryan's a power puncher, Tank is a power puncher. So if they hit you to the body and they fold you and you fold over and your head is exposed, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, this dude don't know nothing about boxing. Canelo and Floyd, not even in my top, not even my 50 all-time greats. You don't know boxing. It's okay. It's all right. That's why you on here. You on here so you can learn about boxing. It's all good. And you could call in. You know what I'm saying? I got the link at the top of the chat pinned. So if you want to click and you want to call in, we could discuss boxing. But that take is horrible. Mayweather's not in your top 50, bro. Mayweather beat Canelo, Mosley, Cotto, Pacquiao, Diego Corrales, Ricky Hatton, Oscar De La Hoya, and he's not in your top 50, bro. Come on, man. Like that's a ridiculous take. Damn, that shit just got me tight, man. That's crazy. Not in your top 50, bro. Floyd, you can maybe make the argument for Canelo, and I think he's in the top 50. I will have to make a list. But, he's not retired, so I don't want to, necessarily rank him right now as he's still active. But Floyd Mayweather's not in your top 50. Like that, you just a hater, bro. You just a hater. That's what you are. You just a hater. Hold on one second. What you think of Mayweather talking crazy on Canelo lately? Hey, yo, bro, I don't understand. Like Mayweather seems to be somewhat of an insecure guy, and he sees that he's not in the limelight. SMJ, I see you on there. Give me a sec. Let me finish my point. But yeah, he just seems like a hater to me. Like, why would you not appreciate like Canelo, what he's doing, his greatness? Yeah, you beat him easy, but you still got to keep bragging about it. Like you retired, you a promoter now. At the Tank why don't you keep talking about Tank? I understand you talking about Tio or Loma or Devin Haney because those are the lightweights, and you promoted your top prospect in your stable is a lightweight. And why wouldn't you stick with him? Why won't you talk about them? Talk about these young guys. Don't talk about guy 168. Like, what's going on? Yo, SMJ, where you going, bro? You dipped on me? Come back, bro. I was just wanted to finish my point before I get you on the phone. Call back, SMJ. Tio has a lot of problems going on, and I think that fucked him up. Yeah. I mean, I'm not big on excuses like that. I'm not big on excuses. Yo, bro. Canelo and Floyd are both clowns and frauds to boxing. I'm not even going to address that. That's some dumb shit to say. Like, that's really stupid. It's stupid. That's what it is. Floyd just mad seeing Canelo doing better and better every time he fights. Canelo on his prime. Yeah, I agree. Canelo's in his prime right now. When he fought Mayweather, he wasn't at his best. Like, you know what I'm saying? They were good, but they weren't at their best. I mean, he was good, but he wasn't at his best. His best is right now, going undisputed in 11 months, knocking people out, breaking people's faces. That's when he's at his best right now. But whatever, I still give Mayweather full credit. A lot of people gave Canelo a solid chance, and he won clearly. I think he won like every round or something. It was a like I don't I got to rewatch the fight to rescore it, but it almost felt like every single round he won. He won every single round. All right, SMJ. All right, SMJ. Call back, definitely, man. You one of the loyal listeners, man. Carlos Montes, one of my other loyal listeners. He's the one that gets nervous every single fight. Canelo or To fight. Those are his two guys. He be nervous as shit. He be calling me. Oh man, is Canelo really gonna beat Billy Joe Saunders? The dude's a clown. Great fighter, but such an attention whore. Don't like seeing how good he is since their fight. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Not that he's a clown. I wouldn't go that strong, but I do agree that like why are you doing talking about Canelo? What, just to get your name off him? Like, bro, you already the biggest star. You already made the most money. You got probably the biggest up and coming star right now. Canelo's the number one most popular fighter, but um Tank is on his way to getting there. Like the way where Tank is in his career, if he keeps going and growing and growing and growing, I can see him becoming more popular than Canelo. So why don't you focus on that? Why are you focusing on Canelo, a guy you beat? Guy, it's almost like a bully. It's like you beat him up and then you still keep talking about him. You still dragging his name, never talking in positive. Like he does that a lot with his former opponents. Like he never says anything positive about Canelo, never says anything positive about Oscar De La Hoya, never says anything positive about Pacquiao, never says anything positive about Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton spoke about how he ran into him in Vegas, I want to say, and he's like, "Oh, he didn't give me the time of day. I went to say hello." It's like I don't understand why he's such a rude guy, or why he doesn't like giving props to his former opponents, especially when you beat them. I understand holding a grudge on somebody who beat you, or maybe they robbed you and he got this decision, and like I can understand you holding a grudge against that person. But when you beat somebody, particularly in the Ricky Hatton fight, you knocked them out. Why are you hating on him? I don't get it. That's some weird shit to me, to be honest with you. That dude got a young boy pound for pound. He a whole troll. Don't even give that clown attention. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. It is weird. It is weird. I agree with you, Carlos. Though, like, I don't understand. My thing is, like, I try to understand why he's doing it, and I can't. I can't. I could be like, oh, you know what? Canelo did get personal with him in the press conference when they fought, and he's holding that grudge. No, Canelo didn't talk about his wife or his kids or anything. So there's no reason to hold a personal grudge. Uh, Canelo hasn't denied that he lost. He hasn't said he got robbed. He hasn't talked bad about Mayweather. He hasn't even responded to none of this. So I don't understand why Mayweather did all of that. It's corny to me. To be honest, that's what it is. It's mad corny. Like I really don't. I don't get it. But yeah, man. This Saturday, man. I'm hoping to go to the fight. I went to the To fight, so I was like, you know what? I might just go. Hold on. Yo, just joined. Did you talk about Fundora yet? Also, what are your thoughts on the Hall of Fame class? I did not talk about Fundora. I thought Fundora lost, and I think he lost because Fundora is an offensive fighter. He's a come forward fighter. That's just how he fights, right? So the fact that he wasn't doing that and he was trying to box, trying to use his height, it was something out of his nature and it wasn't working for him. And Sergio Garcia, to me, he made the fight. He busted up his nose. He was the one who made the fight. Like he made it more of a fight. I just said that mad times. But anyways, I ain't liked his performance. I thought he lost. But it's Sergio Garcia's coming from Spain into America, the guy's home country, and the guy Fundora was the promoter's fighter. So of course he was gonna get the decision. And I just hope he goes back to his offensive ways. I love watching him when he's fighting super aggressive. He'll be throwing 100 punches around. He'd be super aggressive. I like the way he used to fight. I don't know what happened in his last fight. As far as the Hall of Fame class, I saw it was James Toney, Roy Jones, Cotto, and was Mosley on it too? I don't remember. I gotta check. But it was a really good class. But I'll break it down for you right now, though, how it's going. Exactly. 'Cause I don't know who exactly was on it. I don't know if more people were on it. But it's a good class. James Toney, Roy Jones. Hold on. Let me see. Boxing Hall of Fame 2021, I guess. Let me put 2022. Because all right, there we go. So Roy Jones, James Toney, as I mentioned, both of those are Hall of Famers. Both of them have tested positive for performance enhancing drugs. So that to some degree has to be looked at, to be honest. Uh I'm just being honest, keeping it real. Cotto was never unified, but he did beat a prime Mosley, did beat, Margarito, did beat, Sergio Martinez. He has good wins. So to be honest, I don't see Cotto as like a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I don't think this is his first time. I think this is his second time on the. But this was his second year he got in. So all right, let me see who else. There's a couple guys, but I like all the guys. I think all those guys are a Hall of Fame worthy, to be honest. Yo, every live I get asked the Edgar Berlanga question. It's crazy, man. This guy is gonna be a superstar. If his chin could hold up and he can develop some more skills, this guy's gonna be a superstar. But yeah, would you like to see? Who would you like to see Edgar Berlanga fight in the future? I think Edgar. I can't give you a name because I don't think Edgar Berlanga um is at that level just yet. I don't think he's at that level just yet. He had 16 fights, all 16 fights ended in the first round knockouts, and then he has 2 fights that went to the decision. I think those first 16 fights, he didn't get a lot of experience, and he needs more experience. So I would still move him slow for the next 4 or 5 fights. Yes, I know it sounds like a lot, but he's still not ready for like a Canelo or a Caleb Plant or who else? David Morrell. Like all these guys will smoke him at 168. David Benavidez. Like he's not ready for all that kind of smoke. He really isn't. He really. Nah, Michael Blunt. You trying to get fucking my Brooklyn native Edgar Berlanga knocked out? Come on, man. David Morrell will knock him out. He's not ready for that. He's not ready for that. You gotta remember, his first 16 fights ended in the first round knockout. So that means he only had 16 rounds of experience in those 16 fights. That's horrible for a fighter's development. Then he's only had 2 fights where he went to decision, and when one of them he got dropped. He still needs to figure out how to have a little bit better defense, how to place his punches a little bit better. And I feel like sometimes his punch selection sometimes is a bit predictable. Like he'll go 1, 2, 3. He'll throw 3, 4, that hard, power jab. He'll throw 3, 4. And it's like it gets to a certain point where it's like, all right, you caught me with those in the first 2, 3 rounds. All right, but now I'm adjust. And it almost seems like he doesn't know what to do. At least in that fight, his last fight. Didn't know what to do once the guy adjusted to him. And the guy wasn't quitting either. The guy had a swollen eye, man. That jab, that power jab that Edgar Berlanga was hitting him really closed his eye. But it's just like he just kept coming, and it almost looked like Edgar Berlanga didn't have no answers for it. That was a close fight, his last fight. That was his old close fight. Edgar good, but he tripping when he says he can beat Canelo. I think honestly, if you put a lie detector test on Edgar Berlanga, I think that like he will be like, I can't beat, Canelo. I think he knows he can't beat Canelo, but it's good to have Canelo in the mentions with you in the same name bracket, because that way, somebody will ask Canelo about him. Like, look, right now I'm talking about him. I'm talking about Canelo. So obviously, Edgar Berlanga and Canelo, putting those names together, even though that fight won't happen. All right, guys, I got a guest coming on. Hold on, let me see. I got a call on me. Excuse me. Hey, what up, baby?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Yo, by the way, do I say your name right? Ism That's how I say it?
Yeah.
All right, that's what's up. All right, this is one of my loyal listeners. He's a rapper himself. So if you guys want to check out his page, right there, Ism What's going on, brother?
Just got off work, me and my brother.
What's going on, man? Yo, I know y'all from Oakland, man. Devin Haney gets knocked out by T.O.
That fight might never happen. We'll see. Maybe at 140.
Yeah, maybe at 140. Maybe at 140. 40. What's up, brother? What's your question or comment? What you got to tell me?
No, I ain't got no question. I'm just happy. Loma and Comey fighting, because to like knock out more of the B-list fighters out the way, so the grade A fighters could hurry up and fight each other, because they running out of people to fight. You know what I'm saying?
No, for real, man. Well, to be fair, Comey is a former world champion. He is ranked number 5 in the Ring magazine. Comey's not a bum. Comey has 30 wins. He has 30 wins. 27 of them are by knockout. So he's a power puncher. He has a legit shot. Now, if he loses, gets blown out, it'll be more because of how good Lomachenko is, not because Comey's a bad fighter, because Comey just knocked out Jackson Marinez when Jackson Marinez really beat Rolly.
He beat Rolly.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's fighting a legit fighter. He's a top 5 fighter. Now, is he Tank? Is he Haney? No, but he is definitely a solid fighter. And to take it a step further, he's better than Jojo Diaz, and he's better than Isaac Cruz.
Yeah, I think so. No, but what I'm saying even if Comey wins, I'm like Loma got to move all the way back now, like you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I know what you're saying. You're saying like he got moved to the back of the line.
Like he got to fall back to the JoJos and Isaac Cruz.
Jorge Linares, all those guys. I see what you're saying. Loma winning is better for boxing. Put it like that. He's the more popular name than all those guys. And when I say all those guys, I mean all those like Comey, JoJo, Isaac Cruz. He's a more popular name than all those guys. And even if he loses to a Haney, loses to a Kambosos or a Tank, that'll be better for him losing to those guys and letting them have his name on their resume. And that way that fighter can build off whatever Lomachenko has built up, build off their name. Or Lomachenko beating him, showing just how great he is.
Yeah. So what if Loma don't have an impressive win? Who you think deserves the shot at Kambosos?
I mean, I want to see Devin Haney, whether Lomachenko's impressive or not, only because Devin Haney has the argument about the WBC belt and who's the real champion and this and that. So I would rather see that fight happen just to settle undisputed. But if he was to knock out, have a really impressive performance and they give the fight to Lomachenko, I wouldn't exactly be mad. Also, Lomachenko, if I'm not mistaken, is ranked number 1 in the WBO, and Bob Arum said that he's going to try to make him the mandatory for Kambosos after this fight. He's going to say, all right, if he wins, enforce the mandatory to skip ahead of Devin Haney.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I want to see Devin too. I don't know if he should go to Australia though. I don't want them to Jeff Horn him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And the sad thing is that Devin Haney don't got power, so he can't even go out there and just be like, yo, I'll knock him out. And again, Kambosos is a good fighter. Like, he really impressed me. I don't know if you know, but I was there live. I saw him and T.O. fight. And, yo, Kambosos can box, man. Kambosos a tough dude. T.O. hit him with some hard shots, and he survived it, got dropped, survived that. And, yeah, he fought a good fight. So if T.O. couldn't knock him out, Devin Haney certainly can't.
What's your fight of the year since we coming down the final stretch? What's your fight of the year so far?
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, The Tyson Fury fight versus Deontay Wilder comes to mind, but when you watch it a second time, it was pretty much a one-sided fight. So it's hard to give it that. But when you're living in the moment, what was that?
Besides Deontay's like 4th round?
Yeah, he won the first round pretty clear, and then he won the fourth round pretty clear.
Yeah.
Or was it the third round?
I think it was the third or fourth with the 2
Yeah, it was the third round. I think it was the third round. So he won the first and the third, and then lost every single round after that and got knocked out in the 11th. But, you know, I just remember watching the fight, and every time he would land an overhand right, I would be on my feet. I would be on pins and needles. So,
yeah,
you know, I would probably have to say that just for the meaning of the fight. It's a heavyweight fight, and, you know, they both got dropped multiple times. So I'm going to say that fight is probably fight of the year. But I'm not too set on it yet. I still haven't made my fights or prospect of the year, knockout of the year. I still haven't made none of that.
Yeah. So who you think Tio coming back to fight next, or who you think he should fight next?
I don't know. I think he should take a long layoff and fight the winner of Jose Ramirez, Jose Pedraza, and fight in June.
Oh, that's gonna be tough. I think he could beat Pedraza. Ramirez is gonna be tough though.
I don't know. The thing is that Tio likes when I hear him talk, he's always talking about how he wants to go in tough. He always talks about that. And if he wants to go in tough and Jose Ramirez win, you could beat him, and you easily, right after you beat Jose Ramirez, you got all that buzz back. All that buzz you lost to losing to George Kambosos, you got it back. And you can make even an argument that you deserve a Josh Taylor fight, especially if you could get a knockout, which Josh Taylor wasn't able to do.
Yeah, man. Hey, one last question, man. What do you think of my fellow Oaklander, Big Church, Devin Haney hype man? You like him or not?
You ever seen How High, the movie?
Yeah.
You know, it's like one guy. He's like, you know, my lineage, I'm a pimp. Your lineage is an assistant pimp. Like your grandfather was an assistant pimp. Like I look at him like. He's just a certified hype man. Like he's never done anything in his life. I don't like it at all. I look at him kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of,
that was his real profession though.
To me, it's just like real gimmicky. I don't know. That's the way I look at it. It's real gimmicky. But whatever. He's getting creative on how to promote himself. Devin Haney is, I'm saying. So I guess I can't criticize it too much.
Hey man. Hey, that's it. Joel, nice talking to you. All love, baby.
Yo, SMJ, thank you so much for always being active in the chat and always, commenting, showing your support. I appreciate that, bro.
All right, big dog.
All right, man. All right. There we go. First caller of the day. It was a good one. Good one. Shout out to SMJ. That's my guy. Edgar Berlanga is going to be, is going one of these who going to avoid Benavidez and Morrell Jr. I mean, I don't know. I just like the thing is you guys are like putting all this pressure on Berlanga because he has the popularity to fight these guys. And I agree. But he doesn't have the experience or the resume to deserve one of those fights, to be honest. Like, who has he beat? No disrespect. And I'm not even rushing him. I'm not saying like, oh, he's only fighting bums. I'm saying like you only got 16 first round knockouts, and then you fought 2 fights that went to decision. How about you fight 5, 6, 7, 8 more fighters where they may take you to decision? And even if you get the stoppage, it's like, oh no, but he got the stoppage, but this guy's a legitimate fighter. He's a former world title challenger. He's a former world champion. Work your way up like that. Don't just jump into a David Morrell or David Benavidez or Canelo after you just fought Caceres in your last fight. It's like, you guys are trying to rush Berlanga just because his name is up there, but y'all got to watch what y'all seen in the ring, man. And y'all got to watch how many fights he got. How many rounds has he fought? You know what I'm saying? Who has he fought? And he's coming off he just tore his bicep. Let's let him recover. Let's see how he looks in his next 2, 3, 4, 5 fights. And then we could throw him in with the big dogs. Unless a weak champion comes up. Like, let's say, I can't think of anybody. Like, put it like this. Let's say Anthony Durrell gets a belt. Canelo somehow vacates because he can't make all his mandatories. And Anthony Dirrell becomes a champion, and you want to throw Edgar Berlanga in the ring with him, I'm okay with that. But you don't throw Edgar Berlanga in the ring with a Canelo. Like, he's not ready for all those guys, or David Benavidez or David Morrell. He's not ready for those guys. Those guys have way more experience. And I know David Morrell only has 5 fights, but the guy has a crazy amateur record, and he comes from the Cuban School of Boxing. So I wouldn't rush to put him in there with him. Like, we got to be patient, guys. We got to be patient with these fighters. All right, guys. Anybody want to call in, man? The link to the chat, the link to call me is pinned to the top of the chat. All you got to do is click the link, takes you to a website. You can either use your voice or use your FaceTime. Whichever one you prefer is cool with me, man. Love Berlanga, but he needs time to mature. Let him learn more. Yeah, man. I like Berlanga too, in the sense that he's gotten knockouts. That power is legit, bro. That power is legit. I know people in the Brooklyn area who are familiar with him, who have seen him spar and have seen him hit the bag and all that. And everybody tells me that the power is legit. So through my inside sources, I know he's a power puncher. But I do question his chin. He got dropped in the amateurs. I've seen it with my own eyes. He got dropped against Erickson Lubin, 154-pounder with headgear on and probably 16 to 18-ounce gloves. And then he got dropped in his last fight. I don't know if this guy has a chin to fight a David Morrell or David Benavidez or Canelo. I don't know about his chin, but he's young. Maybe he just got caught, sleeping, and he's learning how to be more focused in the ring. But point is, he's still learning. He still has very few rounds under his belt. He needs a few more fights to be put in these big fights. Sorry. Again, I'm from Brooklyn, so I should be biased towards him. Y'all seen how it was with T.O.? T.O.'s from Brooklyn. People will say, oh, you just biased because he's from Brooklyn. Nah, I keep it real. That's why when T.O. lost, I kept it real. I said he lost. I ain't come on here saying, oh, it should have been a draw. Oh, they robbed T.O. Nah. But the same thing with Edgar Berlanga. I want him to win. He's from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. I want him to win. But he needs to show me that he's up to that level before I put my name behind him and stamp him like, yo, this kid's going to be the next thing. He deserves a Canelo. He deserves a David Benavidez. He could move up to 175 and be better. Before I start talking like that, he needs to start proving some stuff to me in the ring. And again, it's not that he's done everything he's supposed to, put it like that. He hasn't done nothing he's not supposed to. He just needs more experience. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But yeah, this Saturday, Vasyl Lomachenko. If you guys want to talk about that, or if you guys want to talk about this Saturday, Devin Haney, or this Sunday, Tank Davis, just let me know. Aaron, what up, brother? I can't talk now. What up, brother? Aaron, if you want to call, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. It don't matter where you are in the world. If you're in another country, it's all internet-based. You can either FaceTime or you can just use your voice, whichever one you prefer. So please call in. Let me know what you want to ask me. If Lomachenko wins by sensational KO, he should get the Kambosos fight. I mean, that's a good way. You know what? I was telling my brother the other day. I was like, I hope Lomachenko gets a first-round knockout. And hear me out why I want a first-round knockout. One, T.O. predicted a first-round knockout of Kambosos, got dropped in the first round and didn't win. And like, I want to say T.O.'s his rival. T.O.'s his Joe Frazier to his Muhammad Ali. Then, so there's that, T.O. predicted a first-round knockout, couldn't get it. And then Loma went and got it. And then there's also the factor of T.O. knocked out Comey in 2 rounds. If he could get him out in 1, like, he can make a whole big fuss how that loss to Teofimo was a fluke. Look how he did Nakatani, and he got Comey out of there faster than T.O. and did, and stuff like that. Like, he can make this whole argument, make this a big buzz, and create a rematch probably down the line, because Teofimo's moving up to 140, so that fight's not going to happen at 135. But who knows, down the line, maybe he could create a big buzz where there's a rematch. Because I know a lot of people in the chat, especially Loma fans, want to see a rematch. They want to see him get that get back. But unfortunately, they're not in the same weight class no more. T.O.'s moving up, as he should, to be honest. T.O.'s moving up. And Lomachenko is, again, he's a small 135-pounder. Imagine moving up to 140 is like, that would be crazy. I don't mind people losing as long as they take challenges and face adversity. Yeah, I mean that's what he's doing. That's what To's doing. That's what Lomachenko's doing. Lomachenko's facing a top 5 fighter. You know, Devin Haney, he faced a top 6 fighter, and Tank faced a top 9 fighter. He was the number 9 rank. So to some degree, they're facing the best. Are they facing the top best? No. But hey, man, at least they're fighting ranked fighters. So we can't complain too much. Victor, what's up, brother?
Yo, what up? What up?
What's going on, man? You see, you got the baby.
You know what I'm saying? Out here.
He a boxer? He a future boxer? Let me know.
Nah, this is my girl. This is
no boxing for her.
Nah, maybe my boy's in the other room, but not her. Not her.
I need to do my scouting, man. I do research.
I feel you on that. Congrats on the channel, man.
Thank you.
You're doing great, man. You know, we know each other for a long time. This is awesome. I tune in every week. You know what I'm saying? It's prime time TV in my household. You know what I'm saying?
I see your daughter. She probably the one that be reminding you to watch.
Yo, I got the notifications. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe, hit the bell. You feel me? I know that.
There you go. Hit the like button on this video.
Yo,
man.
Hit the like button on the video. Subscribe to your boy. Make sure you hit the little bell icon so you get notified when my man goes live. You feel me?
I appreciate that, my brother.
Yo, I just wanted to stop in. I didn't have anything. I didn't have any questions.
No questions? Really?
Nah, I just wanted to stop in. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
It's shower time in my crib, so I got these kids I got to take care of, but I'm listening. I got the AirPods in.
But before you go, I'm going to ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
What's a fighter that you're really high on, that you really, really like right now? It could be a prospect. It could be a prospect, or it could be a already certified champion.
It was Fundora until last Saturday, until Sunday.
Yeah, he didn't fight how he usually fights. He fights so much more aggressive.
I didn't like how he kept fighting on the inside. It didn't seem like he wanted to use his reach as much. It seemed like Sergio was baiting him on fighting him on the inside, and I think he fell into that trap. He won, quote unquote, but when I watched it, I definitely didn't feel like that.
What was interesting about that was in the post-fight interview how he said he was trying to box more and use his height more than he usually does. And what he usually does, and to make my point, he said that, but all I saw what he did was just throw less punches. I don't want to see that. You know, throw more punches. If you want to box
in bunches, you feel me?
Yeah, if you want to box and do that and fight from the outside and bounce on your feet, or fight on the inside, but also do, you know, because you could box on the inside if you fight. If you want to do all that, that's fine, but don't, you know, your punch output is what made you all your fans. That's why you're calling me right now saying that was a fighter you were very high on. Yeah, and all of a sudden you're not, because he didn't throw as many punches as he usually does.
Yeah. I mean, and in all fairness, the guy from Spain, he showed out. You know what I'm saying? It was his first fight in the U.S. He impressed me. He wasn't scared. He wasn't backing down. I honestly thought he won on points.
I thought he won as well. I thought he won.
You know, it is what it is. They're not gonna give that to him. But he impressed me. But yeah, that's who I was. But you know, Berlanga too. But to your, you've said this many times. You know, not enough experience. You know, a lot of flash knockouts, 16 knockouts in a row. 16 rounds. That's not, you know what I'm saying? That's not doing him any favors now, right? You feel me?
No, and then the chin, man. That's what worries me about him. Again, he got dropped in the amateurs that I've saw with my own eyes. He got dropped in sparring against Erickson Lubin, which I saw with my own eyes, and then he got dropped in his last fight. And it's like, why you keep getting dropped? It's like you gotten dropped in every single phase of boxing. You've gotten dropped in the sparring, in the amateurs, and in the pros. And the people you're getting dropped by aren't necessarily somebody who I'm like, all right, well, look who he's fighting. It's like Erickson Lubin's a 154-pounder. No way, shape, or form should he be dropping you when you got headgear and big gloves on.
100%.
Yeah, and I don't care about experience. Once you're that much bigger.
I think Fat Joe's hyping him up too much. You feel me?
No, it's okay to hype him up, because at the end of the day, you know, boxing is about promoting. So I'm okay with that. I just have a problem with his fans going like, "Oh, when's he gonna fight Canelo?" And I'm like, "Bro, like,
take it easy, chill.
You trying to get him killed, or let him work his way?" There's a process. There's a process of how you move a fighter.
We
putting
from
him in
Brooklyn,
against the
and we
number
don't
one
want to.
pound
We
for
don't.
pound guy isn't the move.
We from Brooklyn. We don't want to see that happen to him. You know what
Nah,
I'm saying?
nah. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Well, again, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Nah, and I appreciate you coming on and always supporting my brother.
No problem. Later, brother.
All right, later. Yeah, man. And I know that guy since I was like, how old was I? I was like 14 when we met, so I know him for a minute. Hold on. Seriously, man, I find someone like Darnell Boo incredibly fascinating. Oh, that as you calling right now, as Aaron. All right, let me just. Aaron, what's up, brother? What's your name? Where you from? Aaron. Well, I know your name. Where you from? Aaron.
Is it short name?
Yo, Aaron, mute the YouTube video because it's coming back in. No, not mute yourself. Mute the video, the YouTube video. I don't know. You're not unmuting yourself, brother. I don't know what to tell you. All right, I'm gonna just
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, brother? Where you from?
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm in Australia, in Queensland.
Oh, really? Oh, you the guy from last week that you were saying you was gonna call this week, right?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, no, I love the show. I just have a quick question. I was wondering, what do you think of Tim Tszyu, especially after the Castano-Charlo rematch? And who do you think is going to win that?
But before I answer your question, like you do not have an Australian accent, bro.
No, it's very flat.
Yeah, you sound American, but all right, that's fine.
Yeah,
I like Tim Tszyu. I like Tim Tszyu. He seems like he could pop. You know what I'm saying? He has the right lineage. Although usually when your father's a great fighter or your father's a great basketball player or whatever, the son usually doesn't come out to be as good. Maybe he'll make the league, maybe he'll become a world champion or a titleist, but they never become like Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. is way better than Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. So as far as that, but I do like what I've seen. He seems very disciplined. He has a big fan base, right? Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, it was his last fight. It was huge. He had a really tough fight.
How many?
So it went 12 rounds. Yeah. So he's very popular here. His last fight, he fought Takeshi Inoue. It went 12 rounds. He won every round, but he got really good work in. And it was just a fight he needed.
No, yeah, rounds and experience is very important. So, but yeah, man, how popular is George Kambosos in Australia? I'm curious.
No one knows who he is.
How popular was he before, and how popular was he after the win of Tio?
So no one would know who he was before the fight. When he comes in now, he'll be very popular.
Okay. So
I knew absolutely nothing about him coming into that fight, except that he got a split decision against Lee Selby in England or Wales.
Hey man, this guy went to England, beat Lee Selby, went to New York, beat Teofimo in his hometown, man. If I was you, man, I'll be jumping up and down, man. That guy that was a legendary win, and I was glad that I was there to see it live because that's one for the history books.
Yeah, I hope he fights Lomachenko next.
Really?
Unfortunately, it'll probably be in Sydney.
Over Devin Haney?
I'd be happy with the Haney fight as well.
Okay.
Just as long as he gets a big fight in Australia.
But why do you prefer Lomachenko?
I like Lomachenko more, and I think he deserves it because he had 3 belts. Haney has, the email belt essentially. So I think Lomachenko's fought better people. I think Comey and Nakatani are better than Diaz and Ashot Linares, personally.
Well, that's a good point. Well, the Nakatani not so much, but I do see your point about Comey for sure. Comey's definitely better than both those guys, both in the Ring Magazine rankings and in terms of like where he's at in his career. But yeah, no. So how big is boxing in Australia?
I had a run. So I live in Queensland, where Jeff Horn is in Brisbane. So he got about 3-4 fights here before everyone realized he's not really a good boxer. Yeah.
Oh,
Obviously, Tim Tszyu coming up in George now makes it a huge deal, especially when you can get a lot of huge fights here. It's a great country to be, so I don't see why no one want to come here.
bro, y'all got all these restrictions, and like if you land there, you gotta stay 2 weeks
That's
quarantine.
true.
Y'all got wildfires and stuff like that. Y'all got a lot of problems out there, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
Supposedly,
where I
y'all are
live.
descendant of criminals, man. I'm not trying to get my wallet stolen out there.
No. So in Queensland, where I live, there's been almost no restrictions. There's about 1 week where you had to wear a mask, but otherwise, it's places like New South Wales and Victoria which have the crazy lockdowns. But Queensland's been pretty much unscathed the entire time.
So if I flew into Queensland today, let's just say, I could just go about my day, or do I have to quarantine for 2 weeks?
That I'm not sure about. I think they opened up international flights
Okay.
a couple weeks ago, but yeah, it's a huge country. It's the same size as the U.S.
Yeah, no. But I heard you last week trying to tell me that Australia is better than the U.S. I was like, you bugging out, man. You going crazy, man. You going
Oh,
you got a little hype off that George Camboso's win, and I don't know if you was still drinking off that, but U.S. baby, USA.
But yeah, man, thanks for taking my call. I was wondering, who do you think's going to win the rematch, the Castano-Charlo rematch?
I haven't made a prediction on that just yet. I want to rewatch the fight, but once the video's up, I guess you'll watch it that way. But I haven't made a prediction on that just yet.
All right, sweet. Yeah, I had the first one, 116, 112 for Brian. I didn't think it was particularly.
You had an 8-4, right?
Yeah. I could see 7-5, but I didn't think it was a difficult fight score at all.
Yeah, I gave it to Castano, but I wasn't mad at a draw. Like, it was a close fight. What I was mad at was one judge had it like 9-3 for Charlo. It's like, bro, what fight were you watching? That really pissed me the fuck off. That really pissed.
Yeah.
No, I think he had a 10-2, even worse. It's like, nah, my man. Like, at the end of the day, like, this dude came from Argentina. He risking his life. Yeah, like the other guy's the hometown fighter, but just because he's a hometown fighter doesn't mean you have to necessarily rob the guy like that. Now, if you want to give this guy the benefit of the doubt on 1 or 2 close rounds, I guess. And although I don't agree with it, I just have to understand that that's part of the sport. But 10-2, 9-3, that fight wasn't a 10-2 type fight. Either way.
No.
So I was really upset with that scorecard, but I wasn't mad at the draw.
Yeah, I love Charlo, but I don't think he won the fight.
Yeah. But I'm just happy that they're doing a rematch. It's gonna be for undisputed, and then hopefully the winner gets fights the mandatory, which I think is Tim Tszyu in the WBO.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Aaron. Thank you so much for the call. Any other questions before I let you go?
No, I got to head back to work, but thanks a lot for taking the call.
No, anytime, man. Anytime. I'll see you next week, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, brother. Yeah, man. Already. Another good caller, man. Yo, I'm going international with it, man. I got dudes from Australia calling me, man. That's dope. That's really dope, man. I'm doing all this from my house. My nice little setup here. Thunder Boom KO'd Superman and knocked down SOG. Yeah, I mean, whatever. That happens. I'm not. Darnell Boone is a good journeyman. He was a good journeyman in his career. When he knocked down Andre Ward, that was when Andre Ward was trying to fight at 160. I think Andre Ward was a little weight drain, which is why he moved up to 168. And fought like that, fought most of his career at 168 and eventually moved up to 175. So him getting dropped at 160, I think may have to do with the weight cut. Plus, Andre Ward ended up just blowing him out afterwards. He got his bearings together, ended up winning the fight. So, yeah. Yeah, bro, I'm worldwide. I had some dude from London in the chat a couple days ago. So that was cool. He ain't call in, but I like getting calls in. And that's why I always like asking where people are from. I already had people call in from Chicago. Real American fan. He's from St. Louis. My man Sanchez is from Miami. Carlos, you from Oklahoma. I've had a couple people call me from the Bay, from Michael Blunt. He's from Texas. Like, I have people call me from all over the country, and it's dope whenever I get an international call. So, that's dope. It's dope, man. Yeah, it is. It's a good feeling. That's how I feel like. That's why I can't wait to like get this show on the road where I could go and interview fighters, and I'm traveling to Las Vegas, and then from Las Vegas to LA, and then from LA, I get a home team game here in New York. I watch a fight here, then a fight in Dallas, and then maybe there's a big fight in the UK and I got to fly over there. I can't wait for that. Like, because just, you meet people, you make connections, you have experiences, you get to try different restaurants, because you're going to have to eat. You're not just there to cover. I mean, you're there to cover an event, but eventually you're going to have to eat. So you could go to a nice restaurant. So I'm looking forward to all those experiences. I'm not there yet, but yeah, you're right, man. I'm glad I'm going worldwide, and hopefully I could branch out my connections like that. But yeah, who do y'all think is the best? Well, you know what? That's unfair. Let's watch Saturday before we say who the best lightweight is. I'm not even gonna address that. But man, that division is hot. That division is scorching hot, because even the lower class not the lower class fighters, the fighters on the back end of the top 10 are decent fighters or good fighters. So I'm really really excited about that. Like about the 135 division. I mean, hey bro, for real, you think by 2022 they finally make Bud versus Spence? I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. I wish I had like some inside access, or had like read an article where it led me to believe that we're closer to getting in than getting that fight happen. But I don't know. How do I say it? I'm trying to find the words to say it. I think that the fight should get made sometimes later this year. It should get made. Not that it will, because Errol Spence coming off a long layoffs. He's probably going to come back, either fight a tune-up or fight Ugas. One of the two. But then you have the option, the problem of if he beats Ugas, he's going to have 3 belts. He's going to have the WBA, the WBC, and the IBF. The IBF, they're strict with their mandatories. Let's see what happens there. WBC, they're flexible, but I think they ordered Virgil Ortiz as mandatory. I could be wrong on the Virgil Ortiz one. And then the WBA, they already, if he fights Ugas, it will have to be step aside money for Stanionis. And then the next fight is going to have to be Stanionis, because he took step aside, unless you're going to give step aside money again. So it's a whole mess. It's a whole mess, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope it does. I think Spence is done. You can always tell a fighter is shot or nearing the end when he gets a whole slew of new tattoos. I know Spence got a bunch of new tattoos. But you're right, though. I always pick the Errol Spence as to beat Crawford. I always thought that. Every time people would bring that fight up to me, I would go Spence. Then I saw that car accident. Then I heard about his injuries. I heard he lost teeth. I heard he scraped his face. I heard he had a really bad concussion where he couldn't remember certain things. I heard him talk about this out of his own mouth. And I was like, whoa, that's a really bad experience. I don't know if he could beat Crawford anymore. And I switched my stance from then on to Crawford. And then I seen him fight Danny Garcia, and he looked like the normal Errol Spence that we always see. I was like, oh, all right, maybe. I was leaning back towards Spence, but I was still picking Crawford. I was like, let me see how he looks against Pacquiao. And then he pulls out because he needed eye surgery. So now you went for surgery for a bunch of shit that you had, whether it be breaking your teeth or having a concussion or scraping your face. And now you're having surgery on your eye. That guy is not all the way 100% anymore. He's injured. He's an injured fighter to me. He's damaged goods. At least I think, But again, he could come back and prove me wrong if he comes back and fights a Ugas, or he comes back and fights a Virgil Ortiz, or there's a lot of fights where he could come back and prove to me he's not shot before the Crawford fight, and I may switch my stance back to Spence. But as of right now, I got to go with Crawford just because he's a healthier, fresher fighter. Y'all hit that like button for my boy and help out with the algorithm. Yes, please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button for sure if you haven't already. That's even more important than the like button, but definitely hit that like button as well if you can. It's totally free. I'm not asking you for money. So hit that like button, please. But yeah, man. Oh, by the way, I got my Sugar Ray Robinson shirt, Harlem, New York. A lot of people don't know. Sugar Ray Robinson was born in Detroit and he lived there, I want to say, till he was 7 or 8. Then he moved to Harlem, New York. And so that's why he's a New Yorker. We acknowledge him as a New Yorker. He was actually raised here. He was so what's interesting about him is he wanted to fight in the New York Golden Gloves, which the finals used to be held at the Madison Square Garden. Now it's held at the Barclays. And he wanted to fight, but to fight in the tournament, you had to be 16. He was only 14. So he found one of his friends that was 16. His name was Ray Robinson. So he went with his information, was like, oh, my name is Ray Robinson. So he fought and won the Golden Gloves, being 14, fighting 16-year-olds, and became the New York Golden Glove champion. And under the name Ray Robinson, and kept it for the rest of his career, including his professional career. His real name is Walker Smith. Like, a lot of people don't know that. That's something bananas to me. Also, he was 85-0 in the amateurs. 85-0. And I want to say 40 of them were by first round knockouts. And like 65 of them were just by like knockout period. And then he starts his career 40-0. Loses one fight to Jake LaMotta. Then doesn't lose for 90 fights. And within those 90 fights, he avenges his lone loss for, I think, 5 times. Like, yo, Sugar Ray Robinson is one of the greatest fighters of all time. Also, he's the only fighter to win fighter of the decade in 2 decades. He won it in the 40s and in the 50s. This man was a GOAT, Hall of Famer, first ballot, whatever you want to call it. So when people telling you he's one of the number 1 pound for pound, believe it. He's one of the greats. So that's why I'm out here. I'm repping it. I got this shirt off. What's the name of the site? Roots of Fights or Roots of the Fight or something like that. Just Google it. You'll find it. But yeah, man, I like, they have a lot of old school gear, and I'm a big boxing history buff. So I had to buy the shirt. I had to support. All right. Let me see. Let me see what y'all talking about here. What if Bud fights one of the young lions in Ortiz or Boots? That, honestly, that would make my fucking day, bro. Because a lot of people criticize Bud's level of competition, and if he was to take on one of these young guys and knock him out, then he could be like, yo, what level of competition y'all saying I'm not at? I just knocked out the guy y'all saying Boots is one of the best. Or I just knocked out Virgil Ortiz, the guy who y'all saying is one of the best. You know, that would be a dope situation right there. Imagine the scenes if Comey lands a big haymaker and knocks Loma the fuck out. I'm gonna most likely be there. So if that happens, I want to look at people's faces. I'm gonna be like, what's going on, man? Like, yo, did that really just happen? You know, because Comey got power, man. Comey could crack. Don't sleep on Comey's power. Yo, greetings, yo. Zakimo? I'm going to call you Zakimo. If not, call in and tell me how to really pronounce it. Zakimo, what up, baby? What's going on? I'll do the walk of shame if that happens. I'll be rocking my Loma gear Sunday. All right. There you go. Loma got supporters in Australia. That's what's up. I'm looking forward to this fight on Saturday. And to be honest, the Lomachenko fight was the one I was least looking forward to. Only not because I don't like Lomachenko, but because Teofimo's a young guy, so I wanted to see him fight Kambosos. So I was looking forward to that fight. Also, I think he's undisputed, so I was looking forward to him making the defense of the undisputed lightweight title. Devin Haney is a young up-and-coming fighter who has a lot of good boxing skills. And Jojo Diaz is a legit fighter and a former Olympian, a guy who was world champion at 130, has experience. So I was interested in that fight. And I was also interested how Tank Davis handles Issac Cruz and his dirty tactics and how he comes forward. And I was looking forward to that situation. And so the Vasyl Lomachenko was kind of like off the back burner. But then the T.O. loss, I was like, oh my God, anything can happen in boxing. T.O. lost. And then that got me excited for Devin Haney and the Tank fight, meaning like, hey, are they going to get upset too? Saw both of those fights. And I was like, oh man, let's see who's really the best lightweight. I was like, is it Haney? Is it Tank? Is it Kambosos? And I was like, is it Vasyl Lomachenko? And I was like, wait a minute, he fights the next week. We're going to find out who the best lightweight, who had the best performance next week. So that got me super excited. I was like, oh my God. So that's when I started thinking about like, no, I should probably go to that fight. I went to the Teofimo fight. Why not go to this fight too? So I'm super excited for that fight. I wasn't before. I was just mildly excited, but now I'm super excited. Tank didn't look as good as he should have. Cruz impressed the hell out of me. No, I agree. But you know, Cruz is a tough guy. I knew Cruz was gonna give Tank some problems, but I didn't know it was gonna be that close. Because in my scorecard, I have my scorecard here. Matter of fact, I'm old school. I write my shit down. I have a notepad. I'm old school. I write my shit down. Hold on, I want to see if y'all can see my. Oh, there we go. Y'all see? I had it 115, 113 for Tank. So again, I have the app. I have the app. Don't try to say, oh, why don't you download this app to score? I have the app. I'm old school. So if Tank didn't win that last round, he was going to get a draw, both on my scorecard and the judges' scorecard. So it would have been a draw had he lost that last round. And he came out in that 12th round and dominated, boxed beautifully, and with an injured left hand. He was boxing beautifully, moving his head, bam, bam, bam. A lot of people was like, oh, he's running. Oh, they didn't like what he did. But I saw what he did. That let me know he knows how to perform in moments. He knows how to turn it up when he needs to win that round, whether it be boxing or getting the knockout. Look at his record. He got power. He knows how to turn it up and do it. So I liked his performance in that 12th round, but I do agree. I do think that, if Devin, if he wanted to make a real statement, would have been knocking him out, especially in impressive fashion. But you can't knock everybody out. That's just being honest. You can't knock everybody out. Some guys are going to be tough. And Isaac Cruz was that. Isaac Cruz is a tough competitor. He came out and he put in a good showing for himself, but he lost. And he lost legitimately. Again, my scorecard, 115, 113. That's a 7-5 fight. That's, you can't get mad at that. And two of the judges had it 7-5. Again, had Cruz won that last round, he would have had a draw. And the other judge, I want to say, had it 8-4. So it was a close fight. I don't think there was a robbery. People trying to make it seem, it was a robbery. I don't think so. All right. If Canelo would have put on the performance, people would have said it was a shutout. Oh, that performance? Were you talking about the Tank fight? I don't know. I scrolled up. I don't know what I was talking about, but all right. I see you were talking. Canelo would not go 12 with the likes of Isaac Cruz. Absolutely not. Absolutely. You cannot come forward to to Canelo Alvarez like that. Canelo has such boxing IQ, moves around so well, places his punches. There's no way you fight like Isaac Cruz to Canelo and you don't get knocked the fuck out. With Canelo, you got to fight strategically. And I already know somebody in the chat, oh, well, Triple G came forward. And I thought Triple G beat him 2 times. But Triple G is a tough motherfucker. And also, you got to remember, I think Canelo's at his prime now. I think right now is when he's at his best. Anybody who fights him now is fighting the best Canelo there ever was. And there ever will be. I think in a few years, we're going to see a slipping from Canelo. But right now is when he's at his best. He wasn't breaking people's faces like he was back then. Like, come on, man. I'm going to definitely keep up with the Loma fight. But this week, some big fights also on the MMA side. I'm not too familiar. I like MMA, but I'm an MMA casual fan. That's all I like to say. So I don't know what's going on, but shout out to the UFC. I fuck with the UFC. Jay, my Dominican brother. What up, brother?
Chilling, son. What's good? You can hear me?
I hear you fine. What's up, brother?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Yo, it's been a crazy, I guess you could say, last couple of weeks of boxing, and we still got more to come, bro.
Yo,
Shit is
bro,
nuts.
it's insane. Hold on, just because you said that, you made me think. I'm gonna look up the next few fights because a lot of people just focusing on the Lomachenko fight. There's even more fights on top of that are coming up that are good. But yeah, talk to me. What's up, brother? You excited?
Yeah,
You going to the fight? I know you live in New York, so you going to the fight, the Loma fight?
Nah, I won't be able to go because I got some business to attend to, but I'm definitely watching it. But there's so much this weekend because you got Loma versus Comey. You got Algieri versus Ben, who's a up and coming, got like a fighting lineage in his family type fighter, right? Nigel Ben is his father, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah. Nigel Ben, Chris Algieri.
Yep, and then you got the other one on Showtime, I believe.
Nonito Donaire.
Nonito Donaire, yeah, who has had a little bit of a resurgence in his career. He went back down the way and started knocking dudes out again.
Yeah.
It's gonna be another weekend, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'll tell you right. Listen to the schedule. So this Saturday we got 3 fights, as you mentioned. We got the Lomachenko fight, we got the Nonito Donaire fight, and we got the Conor Ben fight. That's all on Saturday. And then on Friday of next week, December 17th, we got Artur Beterbiev versus our fellow New Yorker Marcus Brown, former Olympian. That's for the lineal light heavyweight champion, WBC and IBF. And then the next day on Saturday, you got Joseph Parker versus Derek Chisora in a rematch. Then you have that same day, you have Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley on a pay-per-view. But on the undercard, you got Amanda Serrano on there. You got a couple other fights. And on that same day, December 18th, you got Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez versus Yunieski Gonzalez for a WBA title eliminator. And then, like, January 15th, you got Joe Smith versus Callum Johnson. Bro, like, it's just week after week after week after week, we're getting good fights.
Yo, and it's crazy, man. It's been years since boxing's been this exciting consistently. And I think it all started with, like, the end of the 2020 going into this year. And it looks like it's going to keep on going into 22, which, yo, I'm here for it, man.
Yo, and the thing is that the reason why I think all these really, really good fights are happening is because what's happening is these people are realizing that they lost a lot of steam. Boxing in general as a sport lost a lot of steam last year in 2020 due to the pandemic, obviously. And, even the good fights that did get made, like the T.O. versus Loma, it was in a bubble, so it didn't get as much buzz. The crowd, the fight gets a different type of buzz when it's fighting in front of a packed crowd. You know what I'm saying? So
100%, even at home.
Exactly. So what now with all this COVID restrictions, little by little, getting easy and getting, they just opening everything up and shit's getting happening. Fights are happening, and the fighters will want to fight. We get a lot of undisputed fights as well. Also, next year we got Jose Ramirez versus Jose Pedraza in February. We got in February we got Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castillo in the rematch for undisputed. Like, it's fight after fight after fight after fight that's good.
Yeah, and I heard Tyson Fury say he definitely wants to fight between February and March. And I think it looks like the mandatory, which is Dylan White, which is going to be an all British heavyweight match, which is, it'll be a fun fight as long as it lasts. I'll take that too.
Yeah. Dillian White is a tough dude, man. So a lot of people, I don't think he wins a fight, but I think he puts up a respectable performance for himself.
Yeah, especially because the way Tyson Fury's talking about it, he's saying he's just going to run through him. And, we've seen what happened lately with people who think they're just going to run through some guy that's a mandatory. Yeah, I mean, I don't even got to tell you,
I was there, bro. I was there. Fucking T.O. got his ass whooped by Cambosos. He should have took that mandatory serious, man. You rank number
For
one for
real.
a reason.
Yeah, man, that should have been a homecoming, home opener type of, yo, I'm back. Here we go. Let's keep this fucking, train rolling like we was before. And he blew it, man. I think he could have won that fight, but he blew it, bro.
He did. You know, he blew it by going for the knockout too quick. Like a knockout you set up. You don't fucking go for it the whole 12 rounds. You got to set it up. You got to, all right, see, this is what this guy likes to do. All right, he likes to move to his left. Because what happened was Kambosos was controlling the distance, and then when Tio would get close, he would bend down to that right side. He would bend down to his right side, and meaning Teofimo's left. Something similar was happening when Canelo fought Billy Joe Saunders. That he was dipping. So Canelo just, all right, I keep missing. Let me just time and punch where I know he's gonna be, and that's when he broke his face. Teofimo wasn't trying to figure him out. He was just trying to knock him out, and that's not how boxing works.
And another thing that bothers me about Tio is that he don't use his jab, bro. I don't understand that. When you a top fighter, you gotta understand that that's your setup punch. If you want to be a power puncher, no matter what you do, bro, you have to set up that punch. You got to, bro. The jab is there for a reason, to set it up, find your distance, find your range, and boom. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me.
No, I agree. The jab is very, very important in the boxing world. But it was just this fight. He usually uses it. Like if you see the Lomachenko fight, he used the jab to get inside. He used the jab to keep the distance, and it almost just seemed like. And he did use some of it in the Kambosos fight, but he was having so much trouble with the distance that Kambosos was giving him. He was being such at a far exaggerated distance, and then he would just jump in. And it was hard for him to time and control Kambosos. Kambosos fought a great fight. Like a lot of people try to say, like, "Oh, Tio came unprepared." I'm like, nah, Kambosos just came ready, man. Kambosos
that too. I know. Hats off to him, bro. Australia got a new star, a new superstar, because that's like the only thing they really got right now. I mean, Tim Tszú's coming up, but he ain't.
Yeah, he don't got a title yet. He got no belt.
You know what I'm saying? Word. And,
yo, you imagine he's hold on, not to cut you off. I'll let you finish your point.
Nah, go ahead.
You imagine. Because right now I think he's ranked number 1 in the WBO. You imagine he becomes a mandatory right after Jamel Charlo and Brian Castano settle who's going to be undisputed, and then he wins. Australia will have 2 undisputed fighters. They'll have George Kambosos and Tim Tszú if he was to pull that off. Hello, Jay. I don't know what happened to Jay. He fell off.
I mean, you know, boxing is getting exciting, and I'm here for it, bro. And then hopefully that helps grow your channel. You know, the more, we got to talk about, and more we, enjoy these good fights, not crappy, boring, I fall asleep fights. That's what we need, bro. And and look, the way the divisions are being set up, where the top guys are just got nowhere else to go but fight each other. It's gonna be something, man. They gotta stop running though. These promoters gotta stop playing games. That's the only thing that's in the way.
Yeah, the thing is that the way these promoters view the game of boxing, they don't look at it as a sport. They look at it as a business, and to some degree, I understand. But in the long run, that's not good. They look at these belts as like chess pieces. So what they'll do is, like, let's say, whoa.
My bad. I couldn't even hear you for like 30 seconds, bro. I didn't even hear nothing you said.
No, what I was saying was that damn, I lost track of what I was saying. What I was saying is that these promoters, they look at the sport of boxing as a business, not as a sport, which I understand to a certain degree, but it's bad for the sport because they look at belts like chess pieces. So, like, let's say when Teofimo was undisputed, that's why Bob Arum was so insistent on making sure Tio fought a rematch with Lomachenko as opposed to defending his mandatory. And now with Teofimo losing to George Kambosos, that chess piece of him luring other fighters to his network or luring other fighters to sign with him because he has the belts is no longer there. So that's just the way boxing works, to be honest. And it's unfortunate, and I'm not happy about it. I'm just explaining to you guys, the consumer, how boxing works and why some of the fights we want never happen.
Yeah, and the Theo was smart. He should have never signed that fight without a rematch clause. That's just another point.
Bro, he's been talking about moving up the whole fucking time, how it was hard for him to make 135. He should have just moved the fuck up already. Move up, fight Josh Taylor, fight Jose Ramirez, Regis Prograis, Jose Cepeda, Jose Pedraza. There's a bunch of fights he could have moved up, fought at 140, and just vacate all those belts, and eventually he would have became a champion at 140. But he didn't look at it that way. He wanted to defend it. I guess he had one eye on the potential fights with Devin Haney and Tank and Ryan, and possibly even a rematch with Loma, although he's expressed no interest in the rematch. I think he was so focused on that he was like, fuck it. Like, let me, you understand what I'm saying? Like, let me just have everything set up where I'm the boss. And it's like, bro, you signed the top rank. That's not how they do business.
Yeah, not only that, like if you know you're getting too big because you're young and you still grow, then you should have just vacated, bro. Like honestly, thinking you're gonna stay there for that much longer. I mean, look at every other fighter in history: Pacquiao, Canelo, Floyd. Everybody moves up, man. It's just a natural thing as a human being. It ain't even because you can't cut weight because you're not focused or anything. It's just naturally you're gonna get bigger. It is what it is.
Yeah, but Tio's gonna be okay. I'm not worried about Tio. Tio's gonna be good. He's young. It's just one loss. Anybody could take one loss. Like this whole Mayweather undefeated thing, like that. Mayweather was one of a kind, man. Like not everybody could beat Mayweather. So he took this one loss. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. He'll be come back. Once he moves up to 140, he's gonna get a little stronger. And Top Rank, they know how to move their fighters. They already saw that he has problems with boxers, so they're gonna set him up with fighting some Mexicans, some Puerto Ricans, some more aggressive fighters, as opposed to people who just box and shit like that.
Yeah, they're gonna get more money out of him. Definitely. Yo, appreciate it, man. Yo, good looking out, taking the questions and all that. Keep doing what you're doing, bro, and I love it, man. Just keep the channel growing, bro. You already know.
Nah, bro. Yo, I appreciate your support, man. I really do.
All day, man.
All right, brother. All right, man. There you go. Thanks, yo. That's my man Jay. Thanks for calling in, man. If anybody wants to call in, no matter where you are in the world, please just hit the link that's pinned to the top of the chat. It'll take you to a website. You can either just use your voice or you can FaceTime me, whichever one you prefer. I'm here to answer all questions. You know what I'm saying? Any discrepancies or anything like that I have said, you could come call me and correct me. Do what you got to do. Like Floyd on press conference, Like Floyd on press conference, Mayweather insane. Tank better leave the banner if you want to raise his stock. What? At this point, Cruz may start getting better deals than Tank. Cruz win. What? All right. Well, not too sure what you meant by that. But Tank leaving Mayweather is probably the most stupid decision he did in his life. Tank, who got you to this level? Who got you to be one of the most popular fighters in all of boxing? Who got you to sell all these pay-per-views? It was Mayweather, right? So why don't you stick with Mayweather? Stick with the guy who got you to the dance. Like, you haven't lost. You're selling out, and he sold out in Atlanta. He sold out in New York. He sold out in Baltimore and LA. He's selling out everywhere. He's selling the most amount of pay-per-views in the lightweight division. He's one of the hottest under 30 years old guys. So we got to give the guy credit, man. If the guy is doing if the promoter is doing everything he can to promote you, then stick with him. Now, I agree, he isn't fighting the best. Now he isn't fighting anybody in the top 5. Like he hasn't fought nobody in the lightweight division. But at the same time, they looking at it. What motivates some people doesn't motivate others. Some people like us, it would motivate us to prove we're the best. Tank has made it pretty clear what motivates him is making the most money. And right now, Floyd Mayweather has been able to find him the most money. I heard rumors the pay-per-view didn't sell at all. Less than 100,000 buys. Whoa. Let me see if that's true. Let me see, because I haven't heard anything, and I keep my ears close to the street. PPV numbers. Let me just see if I see anything. Isaac Cruz. I mean, Isaac Cruz was a nobody in terms of like popularity wise. So I can't find nothing. I cannot find nothing. If I find something, maybe not now, maybe later or whatever, I'll definitely let y'all know. But I can't find nothing. Devin, what up, brother? How you doing, brother? Michael Blunt, man. I don't know if you on, man. Call in, man. I like when you call in. You always got some good points. That's a lot. Football Sunday is not good to go against. Yeah, I don't know why Mayweather did that. Why Mayweather put that fight up like against football, put it on a Sunday. I understand putting up a fight on a Sunday in the summer or in April or or May, but in December when it's football season, there's teams trying to make the playoffs and like there's a lot of close games, divisional races. I don't see why would you try to compete, especially a pay-per-view too. Wasn't even like it was a free fight. Like that was crazy. I don't know why he did that. Real American fan, what up, brother?
What's up, Joe? Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, man. Yo, talk to me. What you think about this fight coming up? Loma versus Comey. Neither American, so don't, because I know you only root for American fighters. So
never
American. Give me
never. Hold on. Okay, let me touch on what you just said, and I'm gonna touch on that.
No. Don't touch on that because you like to harp on that. Come on, man. Who you think
no. Win? Okay, Lomo. I mean, I think he's gonna put angles. You're gonna see them Lomachenko angles. You're gonna step to the side, do those hooks. Hooks coming from the left hand on the southpaw side. So I think Lomo, I think I think Comey got slow feet. And I think Lomo know how to do those angles real good. You see, even when he lost to Tio, he started doing it at the end where he gets guys' feet tangled up. And it's like a weird thing to display, but he know how to do that. He's very good with his feet.
No, I agree. By the way, I have a list here. You picked Jojo Diaz by unanimous decision. You're gonna have to explain yourself, brother, because I'm writing predictions down. Matter of fact, you've said Lomachenko. I'm gonna write that down. How you got him winning?
Unanimous decision or TKO?
No. You got to give me a decision, man. A clear decision.
I mean, Comey been looking good. Comey been looking good his last fights. But I just think Lomo just too fast. I'm gonna say TKO.
What round?
Later, definitely later. I'll be shocked if it's early, but definitely later.
What? Give me a round, bro.
Like 8 to 10.
All right, I'm gonna put you down for 8. And you got that Jojo Diaz one wrong.
I did that on purpose, man. I tried.
Come on.
Yo,
I tried. Purpose. So if you would have got it right, you would have been over here fucking bragging. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You don't get to play both sides. You don't get to play both sides, man.
He ain't fucking lying.
You do not get to play both sides. It's all good.
But hold on. I've been a big Devin fan for so long, but let me tell you why I like JoJo. Because I'm a huge Gary Russell fan. And I know motherfuckers don't show love to Gary. So
you want to make his win look better.
There you go. So it's the same thing with the guy Demetrius Andrade fought. He finna fight what's the guy? You guys are not talking about this fight. This fight is also coming up. Fuck. His name, he fighting Chris Eubank Jr.
Hold on. Thing is, you know what it is? I like this is me of a personal thing. I'm not a big fan of Chris Eubank Jr. because he ducked Triple G, and by him ducking Triple G had to fight Kell Brook, and Kell Brook, he got hurt, and his career was never the same. So I hold that like almost like personal. It's like a grudge. I'm being honest with you. I hold like a little grudge over Chris Eubank Jr. So I may have missed that. He may have a fight coming. Yeah, Liam Williams. You're right. I did hear about that. Herm was talking about that. Yeah, he fights on the 29th of January.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that
and
I believe
Clarissa Shields is on the undercard. This is a good card.
Leo, remember I told you in the comment section, I said Eddie, and let's talk about that. Eddie puts on the right fights for the fans. He's not like fucking them over like Mayweather and them.
Dude. Eddie's good for boxing. Eddie is good for boxing for sure.
Eddie's great. Eddie's great for boxing. And he's a real. And I think the problem he's having is that he tried to promote boxing in the States like he do in the UK, and it's different, you know. And he sees that sometime, and he's like, man, you know, these guys should be fighting each other. Like Gervonta Davis, like let's talk about that pay-per-view. That shouldn't have been a pay-per-view. Because
I agree, but if people are willing to pay for it, you're never gonna convince the promoter to not do it. If people are gonna pay for it, they're gonna pay for it. That's just the way boxing works. That's just. I know it sucks for us, the hardcore, who's gonna buy every single pay-per-view. But there's people if there's people who are gonna buy it, and it's a mismatch. And to be honest, it wasn't a mismatch. I scored at 7-5, so you know technically it wasn't a mismatch. And then again, the undercard was good. It had Sergey Derevyanchenko versus Carlos Adames. It had two undefeated fighters in Sergio Garcia versus Fundora. And even the opener, Mariaga versus Ramirez, was an entertaining fight. So as far as the quality of your paying dollars, you got your money's worth, because even the main event, again, going into the fight, you thought it was going to be a mismatch. Not me, but it ended up being a good, close fight.
Yeah, but they're putting Tank. I think it's because of how people talk about Tank, and they talk about Tank like they talk about Tank and Ryan Garcia like they the belt holders at 130, and they're not really. It's really Devin, you got T.O., and you got Kambosa. So, and it's because of the clout that Gervonta had.
Bro, you always you do this every time. You do this every time you call, bro. Yo, boxing's a business. I know us. Fans,
I'm a boxer. I know this shit. I know this shit.
so like, that's just how it works. Whoever's ranked higher, whoever's making the most money is gonna get the most money, and who's gonna get the most clout, gonna get the most news, gonna get the most attention. That's just how boxing works
in the States. In the States,
no, that's just how it works, brother. That's just how it works.
Because Dylan White.
Hold on. Derek Chisora is never had a fucking title, and this guy has been a main event fighter like 19 times in the UK. You know why? Because he's a popular fighter
in the UK.
That's my point.
Yeah,
you making my point that America, boxing is a secondary sport, so it doesn't really matter so much.
We got guys like you. We got guys like you on this YouTube platform. And power of promoters like Floyd Mayweather that can change that. What you're doing, my brother. You change the perception.
And I'm on here always trying to represent the consumer. That's why I make videos talking about the undercard, and I let my consumers know, hey, this pay-per-view, I'll let you make the comment of if the main event worthy, but I'll let you know if the undercard is going to be good. And I try my best to do the research for everybody. I try to do my best. Sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right, but I try to give an educated guess as to how good or bad the undercard is going to be. And I let the consumers know. So I'm one of those people that I'm out here trying to give people notoriety and trying to create awareness. So I'm one of those people. And I'm starting with my channel.
And you're also, to the people that's out there listening, you're unbiased, because there's a lot of guys that just got like black platforms, white platforms, or whatever the case. You can, to me, you're like a showbiz adult. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but a lot of people are like, catering to him, and
Who's that? Who you say?
Showbiz the adult. Like he's check him out, but he got a diverse fan base. Boxing YouTuber, and they giving him a lot of money on these YouTube. That's why I know you don't do it for the money, but in these live chats they throw this guy a lot of money. I will too, because he's unbiased and he's using this big platform to talk boxing in the right way.
I gotta fuck with him. I gotta holler at him.
Yeah, and that's my thing about you is like, and people fuck with that, because a lot of people are like pro-black on these platforms? Are they pro? Al Heyman,
Mexican, whatever. Yeah. I don't give a fuck where you from, what country, what's your race. If you can fight, you can fight. And I made a video on Inoue Inoue, like when I first started my channel. I'm
Japan
not Japanese, and that motherfucker can fight. I talked about Canelo. I'm not Mexican, but motherfucker can fight. I don't care where people from. As long as you a fighter and you good, I'm gonna talk about you.
And what I'm saying for the boxers, we need that because we don't have a big, fan base like these guys from the UK. As a boxer, that fucks with you because it's like, yeah, you good. Nah, amateur. I fought Keandre Gibson. And he's on the Oscar De La Hoya. I beat him in the amateurs. I just got into the streets and shit, and it's just a different world. I don't want to talk about that, but I'll show you on Instagram and shit.
All right, yeah, for sure.
But let me get to what I'm saying. Guys like you, all the money they be giving money to these other YouTubers and shit. You need that money, bro. Because I'm like, as real boxers, we can relate to like, okay, this guy really know his shit. He's just not trying to get popular on YouTube and shit. He really knows his stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? He really does his research.
I appreciate that, man. And I will set something up where, I can have people donate and stuff like that. I just want to grow the channel a little bit more before I'm asking people for money. It's just, it's just something like I want to earn it a little bit more. You get what I'm saying?
I got you. Absolutely. Even when you talked about the Brazilian guy, I seen him, but you're right. No one talked about him. Like, why did nobody sign him?
I'm glad you mentioned that. We're gonna talk about that right now. But before I start talking about that, any questions you want to ask me before I let you go?
Not really, man. Just keep up the good work.
Yo, a real American fan, you always got really good, kind words for me. I really appreciate you, man. You always comment on my videos. You're always active in the chat. So I just first want to say I really appreciate you as a fan. And thank you for always being supportive and everything, brother.
No problem, man. Just keep doing your thing. I'm always watching.
Nah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. Real American fan, man. That's a good dude, man. He's always coming on here showing me mad love. Like sometimes I'll be in a bad mood. I'll see a comment from him. There's always something real positive. So shout out to Real American fan. But yo, I'm glad he brought this up. This is why I fuck with him, man. Because he really watches my videos and made me talk about this on this live. So there was a Brazilian fighter. I know some of you guys probably ain't watched that fight. A Brazilian fighter in the gold medal match. He was facing a Ukrainian fighter. The Ukrainian fighter was ranked #1 in the world in the Olympics, right? This for the gold medal. He's a super offensive fighter. Came out brawling, boom, boom, boom. Really put it on this Brazilian dude. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that the Brazilian dude didn't hold his own the first 2 rounds, but again, it was clear who was the winner of those first 2 rounds, and it was Alexander Kizniak. That's his name, the Ukrainian guy. Won those first 2 rounds clearly. Now, the only way that the Brazilian dude was going to get this win was by knockout. That's the only way he was going to get the win because he lost the first 2 rounds clearly. Yo, how the fuck that's the only way you can get the win, and you get it by knocking him out with 1 punch. Yo, bro, to me, that is one of the most clutch performances in Olympic boxing history. So that was obviously in the summer. So I'm like a couple days passed. A couple months passed. I'm like, yo, who ended up signing that kid, man? That kid left such a big impression on me. And I was like, yo, he's not signed? By the way, this guy's name is, what's his name? Damn, I forget his fucking name. See, maybe that's why he's not signed. I don't remember his name. But, yo, I'm going to get his name right now for you guys. Because I know some of y'all may not be interested in this, but this is shit I'm interested in. So, Kizniak. All right. Who he fought? What's the name of the guy? Damn. I can't find his name. Let me see. But yeah, Kizniak, he fought this guy, man, and not knocked out in the 3rd round to lose it, bro. What an amazing fucking like performance. Herbert Conceição? Yeah, Herbert Conceição. That's his name. Bro, that's clutch, man. And yo, good looking kid. He's part of the military in Brazil. So there's a storyline with him. I'm like, bro, do you need a manager? In my video, I'm like, do you need a manager? Because let me be your manager, and I guarantee you, I will get you signed, and you will become one of the most popular fighters in boxing. I would know how to manage this kid, but unfortunately, he for whatever reason is not signed. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he doesn't want to go pro. He just wanted to go medal and that's it, but I doubt it. Why would you go to all the way to a gold medal round, have such an exciting win, and then be like, all right, I don't want to make no money from it? It makes no sense. I don't know. Says Camboso, who should fight next? Who should he fight next? I don't know. Let's see. Devin Haney. I want to see. That's the fight I want to see. I want to see him fight Devin Haney and become undisputed. That's the fight I want to see. But if that fight's not available, either Lomachenko or Tank. That's it. But it's looking like his next fight is either going to be against Devin Haney or Lomachenko. If you ask me who I think is going to happen, I think it's going to happen between those two guys. No, it wasn't Falcao. It was Herbert Conceição, which I don't think that's his name. For whatever reason, that sounds incorrect to me. Oh, Herbert Sousa. There we go. His name was Herbert Sousa. Bob Aram said Loma might become mandatory for Cambosos by the WBO if he beats Coma. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. Oh, Richard Santiago. Oh, he's from Puerto Rico, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm still international with it. Aaron, you're not the first international guy to call. He says he thinks that Camboso is going to fight Lomachenko. We'll see. Especially again, if Lomachenko provides a crazy knockout performance, it goes viral. He's number 1 on Sports Center top 10. Like there's a lot of things that could go on that could tip over Cambosos to be like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna fight Lomachenko. And Lomachenko has expressed interest in going to Australia. I saw Bob Arum. He said that he spoke to Lomachenko's camp and they said they're willing to go to Australia. So if that's the case, fuck it. Why not? Who wouldn't want to see that? Who wouldn't want to see Lomachenko versus Cambosos? I would. Again, I would prefer Devin Haney for the undisputed. And I like making that the belts matter. People trying to make things like, oh, the belts don't matter. The belts don't matter. Belts matter to me. So I would rather see that fight, but I'm not gonna be too mad at it. I don't want to damage you. I just want to manage you. Yo, bro, if Herbert Sousa, that's his name, not Herbert Conceição, for whatever reason the internet hasn't written as that. If Herbert Sousa needs a manager, holla at me. If any of you guys know his information, know his father, know somebody, know a way to contact him. Yo, I sent him a DM. I went on Instagram and sent him in DM. I sent him a DM. My DM was like, listen to this. I went to, it was a translator from English to Portuguese. I went, typed up everything I want. It translated to Portuguese. I copied, pasted it, and DM'd him like, hey, listen, I'm a boxing YouTuber. Are you looking for a manager? And if you are, let me know. And if you're not, I still want to interview for my YouTube page. Just make sure you have a translator. I said that to him. He hasn't responded. He hasn't even seen it. But point is, if he needs a manager after getting that wild clutch first round knockout, I will make a fucking movie out of that shit. Like that is like the epitome of how you want to win a gold medal. If somebody told you what's the perfect way to win a gold medal, well, I would make it to the finals and I would be facing the number 1 guy and he would win the first 2 rounds. And I would need a knockout in the last round. And then the last round, boom, I got it. I got it with 1 punch, the left hook. Bro, you that's the way. That's a movie. I would try to write a script. I would make a documentary about it. I would try to have him write a book. I would have him be part of the Brazilian community here in New York or in Miami. In Miami, they have a really big community. Also in New Jersey, a lot of people don't know. In New Jersey, they have a big community. So I would try to have him go to these festivals. I would have this guy lit. But, you know, I got to be his manager for all that to happen. And by the way, oh, you guys probably like, oh, he's giving up mad game. Nah, I still got mad ideas for that guy if I ever manage that dude. I'm throwing that energy out in the air that I'm going to manage him. Herbert Salsa. If y'all know him, hold on. Let me screen share his Instagram just in case some of y'all could get contact with him that maybe I can't. You know, let him know that you got somebody that, you know, my father is a manager. So, like, I have experience, you know, as far as okay, let me show y'all his IG. So he changed his name. So his name is Herbert Conceição, but in the amateurs, in the Olympics, he was registered as Herbert Salsa. But yeah, look, this is him. Let me see if I can find the video of him scoring the knockout. Let me see this right here. So you gotta remember, he needed a knockout to win. This is the last round. Look at this. Look. Boom! Whoa! He got up all wobbly and saucy and stopped the fight to win a gold medal. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man. That's just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Sanchez, I didn't even see you was here, bro. Sanchez, what up, brother? Tank Davis is mandatory for Kambosos. Yeah, Kambosos got a bunch of mandatories. But Tank Davis is probably not going to exercise that. I don't know. Let me see. As we all know, it's not easy to walk down Kambosos. Yeah, no, it's definitely not going to be easy. Is that I never said that. Kambosos is real, man. Listen, I'm a big T.O. fan. He beat him fair and square. We have to give him full credit for that. He beat him fair and square. He did good, man. You can't knock him. By the way, guys, I know Sanchez likes to call in. If you guys want to call in and have a conversation with me, click the link at the top of the chat. It'll take you to a website. You can either FaceTime me or just use your voice, whatever you prefer. You know, I love talking to you guys, so definitely hit it up if y'all want to talk. George walks Vasil down. Vasil's a midget with T-Rex arms. Brother, come on, man. You can't get disrespectful over here, man. Vasil Lomachenko had 3 belts. He was the one who unified 3 of the 4 belts he got. That was Lomachenko's dirty work. T only had 1 and came and got the other 3. So Lomachenko's a legit fighter. He's a 2-time gold medalist. I want to say 3-division world champion. You know, I don't think he's walking him down the way you say, especially the angles that Lomachenko be doing. You can't just walk him down. And that's also not Kambosos style. Kambosos either likes to stay on the inside and fight, or he likes to box. He doesn't walk people down. And you don't just walk down Lomachenko. He's not T.O. T.O. hits fucking hard. So what happened was he felt those hard arm punches, hard body punches, and he was like, I'm not going to open up. But Kambosos don't hit as hard as Kambosos. I mean, Kambosos don't hit as hard as T.O. So that's not going to happen, bro. Trust me. Yeah, I haven't seen Vasil walk anyone down at 135. I mean, hold on one second. He don't need to walk him down. He can outbox the shit out of Kambosos. And I'm not even necessarily saying I'm picking Vasil, but he could outbox him. He could outbrawl him. He could stop him with a body shot. I've seen Lomachenko stop people with the body shot multiple times. Come on, man. Herbert the Sauce. Yo, bro, Herbert Conceição or Salsa, whatever his last name is, man. If you guys can get in contact with that dude and get me to make him get me to be his manager, man, I will make that dude a superstar for sure. Walk him down and Loma would snap that body in half. Yo, bro, people must have bumped their fucking head and forgot. They forgot that Lomachenko beat Gary Russell. They must have forgot that. Or they forgot that he stopped Nicholas Walters, stopped Rigondeaux, stopped Linares, beat Pedraza. They forgot all this shit. They forgot all of it. Now, all of a sudden, Lomachenko's a bum because Tio beat him. Tio beat him because he's that fucking dude and he's nice. That's why Tio beat him. But that doesn't mean that that Lomachenko's a bum because Tio beat him. Yo, he just had a bad night. He lost to a good fighter. I don't like y'all be some haters, man. Come on, man. Who is more entertaining to watch? Lopez, Devin Haney, Tank Davis, and we're just waiting for Lomachenko as of right now, but I'll go those three. Who is more exciting? I want to say honestly, Tank provides crazy knockouts. Like I know he didn't get a knockout in his last fight, but that knockout against Leo Santa Cruz was pretty impressive, and when he stopped Jose Pedraza, that was pretty entertaining. And he gets hit enough where it makes it. So I wouldn't say Tank is probably the most entertaining out of those. Then I want to say Tio, and then Devin Haney. Devin Haney isn't particularly entertaining. I don't think he's as boring as people make him out to be. I just think he lacks power, and he's not someone who's willing to exchange as much as the other two previous fighters I mentioned. So yeah, I think it's Tank, Tio, then Devin. Come on. Yo, Aaron, I'm not even going to post your comments, bro. Bro, you just hyped because your boy is undisputed. You trying to fucking talk your shit. Your Australian fighter just won, and you trying to talk your shit. I get it. But at the same time, Lomachenko's a good fighter. You can't dismiss it. Even if you think Kambosos wins, he's not going to walk Loma down and knock him out, bro. You crazy? That's not going to happen. What will happen in a rematch between Tio and Loma? Your thought after Tio lost with George Kambosos? Well, that rematch is probably not going to happen if at all. It's probably not going to happen anytime soon, if at all, because the fight with Lomachenko would have to be at 135, and Teofimo has expressed that he's moving up to 140. So there's going to be a size weight issue unless, let's say Loma gets the Kambosos fight, beats him, then beats Devin, and then goes, you know what? And let's say Tio becomes undisputed at 140. He wants to move up and challenge him. Maybe then. But at that point, he'll be older. He'll be the smaller fighter. I got Tio again, man. I think Tio knocks him out in the rematch, to be honest with you. To beat Loma, you need to be the equal athletically, hand speed, and power equal to his. Two was built for that. Oh, I guess you meant Tio was built for that. Yeah, no, Tio hits hard. That's what happened. I saw something called Blood, Sweat, and Tears. It was like Top Rank was trying to make like a whole little mini documentary about him. How like post fight, how he was playing. Oh, I had shoulder surgery and this and that, trying to make all the fucking excuses why he lost to Tio. But in the documentary, he goes, I was expecting the young Tio to come out all calm, and he was like, I was surprised he came out aggressive. And once he said that, I feel like he almost was like, oops, I shouldn't have said that. Once he said that, I know what he meant. He meant he was expecting the younger Tio to be all nervous on a big fight, respecting him. He's a 2-time gold medalist. He has 3 out of the 4 belts, and he's going to be calm with me. It's like, no, Tio came in there and fucking came out aggressive and was like, come on, let's make it a fight. Let's fight. And Lomachenko got scared, especially he was getting hit hard to the arms. And he felt the power. He goes, whoa, this guy's not only scared, not scared of me because he keeps coming forward. Also, this motherfucker could punch. Look, he's punching my arms. That shit hurts. So I think that's what happened. Do you think that Lopez deserved to be a pay-per-view star as of right now? It depends who he fights, to be honest. It depends who he fights. And because if he fights, let's say, Arnold Barboza, that fight's not a pay-per-view fight for me. But if he fights Jose Pedraza on the Puerto Rican Day Parade with Edgar Berlanga as the co-main event. Like I suggested in one of my videos, that's a pay-per-view fight. That's a pay-per-view fight. If he fights Josh Taylor, that would be an important fight. But I don't know if Josh Taylor is that big enough of a draw. Like, I don't think he's that known amongst the American public, so I don't know. I'm going to find Herbert for you, but I need that. I'm going to need... but I need my cut, or I'm coming to Bed-Stuy looking for you, man. Nah. If you find them for me, man, it's 100% me, man. It's 100% me. And you can come to Bed-Stuy. I'm not from Bed-Stuy, so you don't get fucking, you don't go over there looking for me and get your ass robbed. Shout out to Issac J, though. They were trying to salvage Loma's image. He thought he was gonna punk Tio like everyone did, like he did everyone else. Yes. He was surprised how strong Tio was, how hard Tio was, how Tio wasn't scared. He was surprised by all this situation. So what he did is he was like, oh shit, this motherfucker hit hard. Oh, he's not scared. Oh, I was gonna block that punch. He actually caught me with that punch, and he just couldn't open up. So when people are like, oh, he's downloading. Yeah, he was downloading the fucking ass whooping. That's what he was doing. He still busted Tio up round 7 through 11. No, he lost that 7th round, in my opinion. I do think he did win 8, 9, 10, and 11, which were the only rounds I gave him. But what made this fight, I always say this, and you guys are probably tired of hearing this. The reason why I'm such a T.O. fan, and I'm going to leave this one up. The reason why I'm such a T.O. fan is because he got beat up bad in that 11th round, man. Lomachenko really put it on him in that 11th round. And then, what does T.O. do? T.O. stepped it up in that 12th and beat the fuck out of him. So when push came to shove, when it came to be like, all right, whoever wins this round, where he drew the line in the sand and go, whoever wins this round wins the fight. That's when Leo came out and beat him the fuck up. So you see what I'm saying? That's why I'm such a T.O. fan. And that last round is what solidified to me that was the better fight of that day. And if they were to have a rematch, I'm picking T.O. by knockout. That's how I feel. Yeah, you gave him the 2nd round because you a hater, bro. You a hater. Do you think Tank Davis should rematch Isaac Cruz? No. Come on, man. I want to see you with a top 5 fighters. Let me show you who I want Tank to fight, because we're gonna stop spoon-feed. Although he was a top 10 fighter, what's his name? Isaac Cruz. We're not gonna take that away from him. But at the end of the day, like, yo, bro, you got to give us some good tough fights. All right, look. So look, number 9, that's who Tank just fought. Fight me a number 5 guy. Look, Lomachenko's ranked number 2, Comey's ranked number 5. Why are they fighting top 5 fighters and you're not? You know, T.O. has fought the champion, has fought the number 2 guy, has fought the number 5 guy. Look, Devin Haney, he's fought the number 6 guy, the number 7 guy. You know, and Jojo Diaz is where he's ranked. He's ranked number 6. He fought the number 8 guy. Could you fight one of these guys? Could you fight the winner of the Comey, Lomachenko, a Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, a Teofimo, a George Kambosos? That's who I want to see Tank in the ring with next. I don't want to see a Isaac Cruz, man. I don't want to see a Rolly. I don't want to see none of these guys. Like, I don't get it. And to be honest, who I think he's going to fight Rolly next. I'm telling you right now who he's going to fight. Now, am I happy about it? No, but that's who he's going to fight. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you mean by that, but I'm speaking the truth, bro. Lomachenko did not win that 2nd round, and he did not win that 7th round. T.O. won rounds 1 through 7 and round 12. Do the math. That's 8-4. Sorry. And I've seen that fight multiple times, by the way. A lot of you motherfuckers just saw that fight just once. I've seen that shit multiple times. Joe, I'm assuming you meant Joel. What are your opinion on Subriel Matias? Subriel Matias, Puerto Rican, power puncher. He literally killed a guy in the ring. How hard he hits, man. I'm big on him. He does need to work on his defense. He has a loss on his record, but he does need to work on his defense. But I do like his power, and I think his power is legit. I felt like judges have been getting it right lately. Hopefully it continues. I agree. They got it right against Cambosos in New York against the hometown fighter. Gotta give him credit. All right, guys, I'm about to jump off soon, so either call in now or write your question in the chat. I'm about to hop off soon. I wonder if Rolly has a chin. If he does, that fight might be more interesting than we think. He does have power, and Tank at times has been easy to hit. So that does make for an interesting fight, but I'm not interested in it because, as I just showed you, Rolly's not even ranked in the top 10. I want to see Tank challenge a top 5 fighter, let alone a top 10 fighter. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off now, but I appreciate you. Oh, hold on. It's Sanchez. I have to answer a question from man Sanchez, one of my loyal listeners. All right. We can't ask Tank Davis to fight anybody. We have to ask Mayweather. That's a good point. That's a good point. What Dominican you think has the brightest future in the sport? Right now, as far as Dominican, I'm not really too high on anybody. The only one I was really high on was Elvis Rodriguez, and then he got outboxed by Kenneth Sims Jr. But he came back in his next fight and beat an undefeated fighter on the Canelo undercard with a 1-punch knockout. So I want to say Elvis Rodriguez, but he does have things to work on. He's not quite championship level ready yet. I think that's who I'm most high on. And Carlos Adames, he beat Sergey Derevyanchenko. Sergey Derevyanchenko, who I picked him to beat Carlos Adames. And Carlos Adames is working with a Cuban coach as his first fight, and he showed me some of those defensive moves. He wasn't perfect. He was wild at times, but he showed me some things. So I would say that Carlos Adames is a good fighter, and that he does have things he can work on and become one of the top Dominican fighters right now. But as of right now, if you're asking me right now, which you are, I want to say Elvis Rodriguez. That's who I most respect and most think that is a championship caliber fighter. But all right, guys, that's my live. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Even if it's just the stream is ending, hit that like button. Make this shit blow up. I'm trying to go viral. But all right, guys, until next. Oh, follow me on Twitter @_BroadwayJoel. Follow me on Instagram @BroadwayJoel. And again, hit that subscribe button and like if you haven't already. All right, guys, until next time. Peace.